Electronic identification tags, EID tags. Where are we at and what's going on? We're going to try to get some clarity. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart. A big thank you goes out to our partners, RanchChannel.com, The Happy Toy Maker, Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Clear Springs Cattle Company, and the Mature Cow and Red Heifer Dispersal Sale. Catalog and videos and sale information is available as we speak at RanchChannel.com. Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multimin and Lactipro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, bringing us Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
Cattle Battle.
All right, crew, diving right into this one. Confused about USDA's EID tag requirement? Well, you're not alone. Visual ear tags applied before November 5th this year, 2024, will be recognized. They are recognized as official IDs for the life of the animal. They'll be grandfathered in and will not need an EID, but what about the rest? That's where the confusion comes in. I reached out to U.S. Cattlemen's Association president and owner-manager of SimAngus Livestock in SimAngus, South Dakota. Justin Tupper joins us today. Justin, good to have you back on the program. What's going on? What is the situation with these EID tags? Are there even enough of these tags to go around right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we've been asking that question. I've got veterinaries, mine included, who does have some tags, but is going to run out and has been told, if you don't put them in, it's a violation. And the government has told them to have your customers go look for some. Well, these are things that are unacceptable, and this new EID rule makes no sense. It is not a system that enhances anything we already do. They can't prove to us or tell us that it's going to be any better, any faster, any more efficient in finding these animals if we have an outbreak. In fact, I'm pretty confident that it's probably slower. Because there is no infrastructure out there. The government has rolled out a program that they can't supplement or they can't back up. So it's kind of a mess. We're hoping that we get an injunction to stop it. Otherwise, I'm not sure what they're supposed to do when they can't get the tags.
So is that where we're at right now? Is it mandatory cattle of a certain age need to have this tag?
So, the rule says that, anyone that's already tagged for the life of that animal, if it has a metal clip, that is sufficient. But any interstate movement critter that, you can't read the tag or needs a new tag, it's supposed to be a metal ID. And obviously anything that gets bangs vaccinated is supposed to be an electronic ID, not metal, electronic ID. And that's what the rule states as it was coming into effect November 5th. But again, the government has rolled out a program that has no support, no readers, no nothing for the programs, and it's kind of a mess.
So affecting guys selling females, replacement females?
Intact females, yes. It does not change anything on the feeder cattle side of things, but intact females for breeding purposes, it does. And it, I think that's a little bit of a misquestion, and we have to be fair. The rule since 2013, we've had to ID those animals. This rule changes it that the metal clip is no longer able to be used. It has to be that electronic ID. And that's the part of it that makes no sense. Why would we change from the metal clip, which is readily available, everybody has, it's a system we do, to an electronic ID that nobody has readers, there's no system in place to take it, and there's nothing there that tells us that it makes it faster or better or more easy to track. In fact, we're positive that it is not faster.
So exactly where is it at of what cattle need to have, according to how it's written right now, what cattle need to have this EID tag going forward? What exactly needs to have that in their ear?
Any breeding animal that gets a bangs vaccination or gets a bangs clip would need to be an electronic ID. Any interstate movement of intact animals over age that are going to be used for breeding purposes, all of those, if they need a tag. Now, for the life of the animal, if it has a metal clip, that is sufficient. They wrote that in there, which actually complicates things because now you, especially at sale barns where I am, last week we had 2,400 cows. Probably 1,800 of them went back through the chute to get ID'd because they went to feed. Anything that didn't have a metal clip or they couldn't read needed to put one of those electronic IDs in. Normally, they just read the tag or put in a new tag that's in sequence so they can write it down and move quickly. Commerce can move. Now you have to use an EID tag and try to find a wand or figure out a wand and then have a system to put it into a computer, to put it onto a sheet, to put it out there so they can have a health to be transported. And all of those things make commerce more cumbersome. It is not a better system.
And you at the sale barn in St. Onge, you're dealing with this literally as we speak, that it has created a bottleneck literally for your crew.
Absolutely. And again, to be fair, we've had to do it since 2013. We believe the rules should be opened up. I don't think of all the cows that we've ID'd, and it's thousands and thousands of cows that we've ID'd that went to feed. I'd like to know if they've ever traced one back through that system. I've called our own South Dakota office with a number and said, I'd like to know where this cow is. She said, there's no database for that. We can't track that way. So I said, well, why are we doing it? What are we doing? It makes no sense. The system that we worked with forever was a bookend system where you would have a bangs vaccination tag from the source of origin, and then wherever the problem or wherever the animal was harvested, you read it. That's a bookend system. They've tried to implement this with reading these tags in between, and it has no success in helping trace animals back. Everyone that's ever been traced through my barn on any brucellosis or any of those things, it's been through a back tag or a brand. That's how they've figured out where it came from, not through the IDing that we've done after the sale. That literally on a Saturday cow sale, many times the vet is still reading tags on Sunday or maybe even Monday to try to get those animals out because it takes time and it's wear and tear on the critters, and it's a difficult system. So, but again, we have to be fair. We've been dealing with that since 2013. Now we just add another layer with this electronic thing to make it more difficult instead of better.
So when we're talking on breeding bulls, for example, will they need to have the EID tag as well?
If they already have an official identification, they can, for the life of the animal, same thing to my understanding, that will be sufficed for the life of that animal. Any young animals that are getting ID'd or tagged for interstate movement or any of those things will have to be this electronic ID.
And I know that's where some people asked me that question, and they said, when it comes to the bull side, where a lot of people, if they're registering their bulls, they have to have that tattoo in the bull's ear that is usually a prefix that equates to the ranch, and then a permanent identification to that exact critter. So there could never be a duplicate of that animal. So that's where the question was: is that going to be okay? Will that suffice for the rules that are written? And then the other question comes to just plain old feeder cattle, just calves going across your scale, 5.5, 6 weight steers. Are they going to have some sort of a metal tag in their ear?
Well, as of now, no. But what's in the water, and
Exactly.
The USDA used to be quiet about, it was kind of the elephant in the room that's what they would, no, we're not going there. We don't want that. Now, if you go to their website and you read through the fine print, it says they would like to ID all animals, and that's just a road that does not fit commerce or fit anything we do, and it's not for disease traceability. That is not why we would need to ID all these animals. So ulterior motives in play, and it's something we've got to push back on. And at U.S. Cattlemen and here myself personally through the barns, we are definitely trying to do so.
And when you say push back, how do we go about doing that? I mean, you know what they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Who do we make that squeaky wheel in front of so we get the grease, Justin?
Well, I think we've got to get APHIS and USDA. We've got to sit down and get in a room and explain to them that, these people that make the rules and sit in the great big halls in Washington, D.C. and have never been out in the countryside and had to read IDs or ever done any of those things. And then they write the rules on how it's going to work. They've got to get out here and we need to show them. I want them to come out to my sale barn on a Saturday and sit with my vet all through the night and ID those cows and explain to me how that's a better system than the bookend system we worked with, and show me where they've used it to do any traceability, and it justifies the wear and tear on those cows, the slowing down of commerce. It doesn't work that way. And so I think that's probably where we have to start. We've got to get them in the room, and then we've got to get them out in the countryside and show them why it doesn't work.
Justin Tupper, president of the U.S. Cattlemen's Association and owner-manager of SimAngus Livestock in SimAngus, South Dakota. I will have the links to U.S. Cattlemen's and the SimAngus Livestock in case you want to update and check their market reports in the show notes for your convenience at ranchitupshow.com for this episode. Now, the new policy only applies to interstate movement. Other exemptions include direct-to-slaughter cattle and sexually intact cattle and bison under 18 months of age. Now, animals that will need electronically and visually readable tags when they enter interstate movement include sexually intact cattle and bison 18 months or older, all dairy cattle, including beef on dairy crossbred animals, cattle and bison of any age used for rodeo, recreation events, shows, or exhibitions. And again, we're going to keep diving in and try to get this refined to make this as easy as possible, if that even be possible to make easy. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to your veterinarian, your state veterinarian, to answer those questions and to get some clarity on the subject. Okay, that was a lot to swallow here in the first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and the Ranch It Up Radio Show will be back after this.
Should I sell heifers or keep some as replacements? Consider upgrading your cow herd with Material Instinct and Stayability, all while providing that extra shot of heterosis. Look no further than Gelbvieh and Balancer Genetics. Discover the cow power with Gelbvieh and Balancer. Gelbvieh and Balancer, smart, reliable, profitable. Gelbvieh.org. If your herd is suffering from scours and has had scours, see immediate results with Farmatan from Imogene Ingredients. Get your herd on a Farmatan feeding plan now to prevent scours for next calving season. Get your herd back in shape, more breedbacks, healthier calves, and eliminate scours with Farmatan. Check out FarmatanUSA.com and on Facebook.
Howdy, folks. Do you have that young cow kid in your life and looking for the perfect gift this holiday season? The Happy Toy Maker manufactures toys that last for generations. Order now in time for Christmas at thehappytoymaker.com.
Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multimin 90. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multimin 90. Multimin 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line.
LivestockMarket.com. We hear from the crew at LivestockMarket.com every week. Bulls, cows, bred heifers, open to replacement heifers, cow-calf pairs, feeders and stockers, horses, pigs, goats, sheep, show stock, hay and straw, and even alpacas. All listed on LivestockMarket.com.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up Radio Show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find at your All Things Ranching newscast, and so glad to be hanging out with y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants, it doesn't matter. You can give us a call or text 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com, and prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. Travis Wulf with Clear Springs Cattle Company. They bring us the Bred for Balance sale every February featuring Simmental and SimAngus genetics. Joins us now to tell us about the mature cow and red heifer dispersal sale. We've been talking about it for the last couple months. It's coming up fast. It's next Saturday, November 30th in Starbuck, Minnesota. Hey, Travis, tell us a little bit more about the details about the cows and females that are going up on the auction block.
There's all the mature AI cows, so H models and older. So there's a bunch of full sisters to some of the breed's most popular AI setters like Guardian and Homeland that will be selling. And then every red female on the ranch. So open heifers, bred heifers, and cows.
And I think it's important to note that this is not a going out of business sale whatsoever. This is just your family restructuring, correct?
Correct. Yep. And we wanted to offer, we didn't want to hold anything back of any certain group. So that's why, it's all the mature AI cows. There's not a single one that we're keeping for ourselves. So they're all offering to you.
And it's interesting when it comes to selling seed stock bulls and females, there's two different ways of thought. One is, well, the best ones, I'm going to keep them back and I'm going to put them back into the herd and use in the factory. Well, the other school of thought is, well, by golly, if I made a great one this year and if I know my genetics, I should be able to keep producing those great ones. So a lot of guys, they'll look at it that way and say, you know what, the top 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to put them in the sale because I should be able to next year make another top 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and we definitely have some young females that we're pretty excited about coming out. They're not proven like these cows that we're offering for sale. There's always value in some proven genetics that, they can get it done. But a big part of it, too, is we're so grateful that Tom Hook did this kind of sale back in 2013, and that's how we got our start. So we kind of want to pay it forward, too. Let some people start their Simmental herd off on the right foot.
Travis Wulf and the Clear Springs Cattle Company mature cow and red heifer dispersal sale Saturday, November 30th at the ranch in Starbuck, Minnesota. You can bid and buy online at dvauction.com. Sale books, videos, and all sale information is available at ranchchannel.com right at your fingertips, and you can head to breadforbalance.com. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we're talking markets, we're talking horses for sale, we're talking a lot more, so keep it locked right here to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. RanchChannel.com, bull sales, Western events, product information, and more right at your fingertips on the ultimate cowboy-friendly platform. Want to follow up-to-date markets? Head to RanchChannel.com. No need to dig for information on all these different websites. It's all right there on RanchChannel.com.
Have you considered IVF, in vitro fertilization, in your cow herd? You need to look at your herd's full potential, and Transova Genetics is there to help you along the way. From now until September 30th, use your pregnant donor and IVF technology and receive a $100 discount. Call Transova Genetics today. Unlock your herd's potential.
The best way to raise beef on pasture, on crop residue, or in a dry lot, it's Westway feed products. Westway liquid supplements support increased forage utilization, efficiency, convenience, and sustainability. Find your nearest rep by calling 800-800-7517 or head to westwayfeed.com on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Clear Springs Cattle Company, that brings you the annual Bred for Balance sale, well, they invite you to the first annual mature cow in red heifer dispersal. No, they're not getting out of the business, just refocusing their herd, and now is your chance to get your hands on proven Simmental and SimAngus genetics. Just head to ranchchannel.com for sale details or bredforbalance.com. It's Saturday, November 30th at the ranch in Starbuck, Minnesota, and holler at any of the crew with questions.
There's still lots of time to market those calves. Add Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners to the list of marketing options. With over 30,000 feeder cattle marketing annually, the Allied Genetic team works to help commercial producers capture top dollars. Contact any of the Allied team by heading to AlliedGeneticResources.com.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It's that time of the program. We check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, recapping the markets from last week, kind of hopefully get an idea of what may come down the pike. So, Kirk, numbers, what do you got for us, buddy?
Well, good morning, Tigger, and all your listeners out there. As of Friday, November 15th, January feeder futures closed at $246.90. That's up $5.47.5 on the week, with the CME feeder index up 245 at 252.31. The big rally that we had on Friday narrowed the basis $2.92.5 versus November futures to leave it at a positive $1.51. So the big rally on Friday definitely narrowed the basis up. We do have a cattle on feed coming out this week, so all your listeners kind of be aware of that. December live cattle futures closed the week at 182.87.5. That's down 82.5 cents on the week. Cash traded light volume in the south at 185. and 184 to 185 in the north. That left the 5-area weighted average down $2.51 at 184.74, and the basis versus December futures at a positive $1.86.5. The weekly slaughter came in at 606,000 head. That's down 13,000 head from last week and 33,000 head below the same week last year. Choice boxes closed the week down another $4.59. Obviously, the concern of the market right now. That was at 303.34. To wrap this up, December corn closed the week at $4.24. That's down 7.25 on the week. Seasonally, the expectation is for a sideways to higher trade. The unknown is obviously the effect of President-elect Trump's plan with his trade partners and what effect that will have on commodity prices.
Hey, all, Mark VanZee with EquineMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, November 27th, we have our monthly online horse auction. Bidding opens at just $100, no reserves, all horses will sell. Featured lots include Macho, a 2015 Carmelo quarter pony gelding, 13 hands high, super nice on trails, doctor's cattle in the pasture. He's great for an intermediate rider or for a kid to do ranch work from Raptor LF Cattle Company in El Dorado Springs, Missouri. We got a 2021 Buckskin Andalusian mare, 16 hands high. She's 100% full Andalusian, but she's not registered. She's green and she's had some desensitizing to the saddle, but she hasn't done much more than that. She loads well and she trailers well from Laura Farms in Patterson, California. We've got Isis, a 2011 white purebred Arabian mare, 15 hands, broke to ride, sweet personality, stands quietly for grooming and saddling from Fisher Farms in Decatur, Illinois. Comet, he's a 2012 sorrel gelding, 15 hands, husband and kid proof. He's in training for barrels and poles. The previous owner used to shoot off of him. He's soft in the face, sound, and he's got a clean Coggins from Starstruck Ranch in Joshua, Texas. Lone Star, a 2004 sorrel quarter horse gelding, 15 hands, companion horse, not broke to ride, but we got a clean Coggins and he's up to date on vaccinations from Starstruck Ranch. A Peruvian Paso mare, no papers or history, healthy, regular trims, halter broke, super easy keeper from Slade Farms in Stockton, Missouri. An AQHA sorrel filly. That's a YO Wrangler Blu-ray and a Dixie D Sunbar filly, 2024, 5-panel negative by parentage. Should mature to about 15 hands and make a great versatile prospect from R&K Trail Horses in New Boston, Missouri. Bravado is a 2020 Gray Morgan Warmblood cross, started under saddle, sound, loving personality from Sapford Horses. Gilly, a 2012 Gray Arabian gelding, 14 hands, previously used as a lesson horse, rides Western or English, jumps and trail rides, super sweet horse from Sapford Horses. And Jaguar, a 2012 Gray Dutch Warmblood stallion, 16 hands, broke and used to be a jumper, can go in any direction from Sapford Horses. Bidding opens at just $100 and it's currently live, but all the horses are going to sell the morning of Wednesday, November 27th at 10 a.m. Central Time. Got a horse to sell? Regular online horse auctions, fourth Wednesday of every month, with hay sales every Wednesday on equinemarket.com and auctiontime.com.
Is mature cow weight keeping you from profits or adding to your profits? Hey, I'm Shaye Wanner, and I visited with Dr. David Lallman about the impact of mature cow weight on profitability. The snapshot you are about to hear shares one part of the conversation we talked about, but my favorite part of this conversation is when David talks about how cows can fit into 4 quadrants based on their mature cow weight EPD and feed intake EPD. It's a pretty interesting conversation, but anyways, here's a little bit about what we talked about.
If you look at the genetic trend for selection for growth in the beef cattle industry, we are headed north rapidly. The genetic trend in yearling weight EPD is going up, and if anything, with genomics available now, we'll be able to do that faster and faster and more accurately as time goes by. When we calculated the influence of that on cow size based on USDA cow carcass weights since 1978, if you convert those cow carcass weights to live animal weights, live cow weights, it looks like mature cow size has been increasing at about the rate of just a little bit over 7 pounds per year. So if we continue down that path, in 10 years, our cows will be on average about 70 pounds heavier than they are today. Just kind of add to that a little bit with that 7-pound increase in mature cow size per year, we calculated that someone that had a 30-year career in the cattle industry, and they did nothing but selected for industry average growth over that 30-year career, you should be grazing about 13% fewer cows today than you were 30 years ago. Okay, so that's the impact of that cow size on stocking rate over time based on overall industry average.
Listen to the full story by searching for Casual Cattle Conversations on your favorite podcast player. Happy ranching, folks.
And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, Justin Tupper with U.S. Cattlemen's and the owner-manager of Onge Livestock, Travis Wulf with Clear Springs Cattle Company. Their sale information is updated and available at ranchchannel.com. Videos available there, sale catalog available, and all sale information. Shaye Wanner with Casual Cattle Conversations, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, Mark VanZee with equinemarket.com. A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com, The Happy Toy Maker, Jorgensen Land and Cattle, Clear Springs Cattle Company, and the Mature Cow and Red Heifer Dispersal Sale. Getting excited for that one. Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multimin and Lactipro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, bringing us Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to follow and like us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can call and you can text 24/7. That phone number is 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved. Stay ranchy and ranch it up.